Hey everyone, sorry. Few technical issues here. Trying to sort out. Nothing more stressful than when things don't work out the way you want them to. That's for sure. But welcome to Sketch a Day Live. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a stream up on Behance at the same time. I think I've got it. Let's see. This is really annoying. Sorry, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I figure this is better than you staring at the intro clip over and over again. I just need to turn off one thing. Anyhow, hello. Welcome to Sketch a Day Live. Thanks for hanging out, being a part of this whole experiment. Welcome to the Behancers as well. Thanks for joining. Feel free to pop into the chat. I'll be announcing the weekly sketch challenge shortly. Anyhow, yeah, sorry about this issue. I'll explain in just a minute. Let's see. I need to. Oh, this is so annoying. Okay, I just want to delete this. Okay, there we go. Whew. Okay. All right, I think I'm good. Hello, welcome to Sketch a Day Live. Thank you. So I was trying to stream in multiple places. Apparently my streaming service doesn't allow me to do that. So then I was like trying to stream on Facebook, but then stream elsewhere as well. But then they were like, hey, you need to upgrade to be able to do that. And I was like, oh, crud. That's not good. So I was scrambling because Facebook took over the stream because I have stream keys for a lot of these services. So anyhow, Facebook took over and I was scrambling to try and correct it while starting the show. So anyhow, welcome. Thanks for joining. So this week on Sketch a Day, we're going to be doing a new sketch challenge. And I had some input from the patrons. We had a few ideas of what to do. Again, if you want to sign up to be a patron, you can check out patreon.com/sketchaday and support and get to participate in that way. So anyhow, we decided to go with in the kitchen. So it could be anything, could be an activity. You could go interior design, illustration, whatever you want. Of course, I'm an industrial designer, so I like doing products. And today's Sci Fi Sunday, so I figured I would do cyberpunk kitchen stuff. Maybe I'll do something looking normal and then make it all cyberpunk. Now, I feel like technology's out to get me today, so I may not risk doing. See, I don't even know what's happening right now. Okay. Where is I going with this? Oh, man, my brain's all over the place. I'm so sorry. I feel so scattered this morning. But what I was saying is, since it is Sci Fi Sunday, I'm going to make my kitchen stuff sci-fi themed. And the sci-fi theme specifically I'm picking is cyberpunk. So that's what I'm going to do. So maybe I'll do a normal looking object and then make it all cyberpunk after the fact. If you're watching for the first time, I'm Spencer. I'm an industrial designer. I love sketching and drawing and creating things. So we're going to warm up like we do and get to it. I will be using markers, pens, all the normal stuff that us normal people use. So I hope you're having a good Sunday. Woo. All right, maybe I'll even bust out the Chartpak markers. Maybe. In fact, I think I will. So then I can use ballpoint pens. So different markers interact differently with different inks. So you kind of have to be, or yeah, with different pen inks. So you kind of have to be a little careful what you choose to draw with. All right. Okay, let me just make sure we're good. All right. Hey, Gareth on the Behance. What's up? Behancer. Okay, I have like way too many pictures open here. Or sorry, windows. Way too many windows. All right. Ooh, I think I'm good now. I think I'm good. What a what a wild cascade of events this morning. Oh my goodness. Like I was just stressing. Okay, I'm just gonna look up on the good old inspiration machine, aka Google here. And like I always do, try and familiarize myself with some of the visual aspects of Cyberpunk. Now, there is a game called Cyberpunk 2077. I don't have it, but trying to find here. Cyberpunk aesthetic, Cyberpunk look, maybe. Maybe that'll pull up some interesting things. Yeah, it's all the game. So I'll probably pull from little elements unless you have. Actually, Blade Runner is a good good source. Blade Runner concept art. So I'll probably look at some of this stuff as we go. Anyhow, let me know how you're doing, how your Sunday is, where you're watching, all the good stuff. Shout out, much love, thanks to the patrons and channel members on YouTube for your support. Always appreciated. All right, here we go. Enough fluff. Let's draw. Okay, and I am paying attention to the Behance chat as well. So as always, nice straight lines to warm up. Yeah, I'm like everything is scattered. I'm all over. I thought I would have everything ready, but clearly I'm missing a few things. Hold on just a sec. That's a good idea, Joel. A microwave. All right, I'm actually lotioning my hands because years ago, someone on YouTube was like, man, your hands are so ashy. I was like, oh man, I'm embarrassed. So I try to make sure now that I have a bottle of lotion handy to get it right before I start. Okay, here we go now. So straight lines, ellipses, circles, you know the drill. Barcelona, Spain, Luis. Hey, Nico. Mario de Madrid. Hello, Latrice. What's up? NYC, everything. Good to see you, as always. And hello, Joel. Or did I say hello to hello, hello? That's a cool YouTube username. Hello, hello. I say that a lot. I think drawing is one of those skills that no matter what kind of designer, creative person, or really anyone, any human, no matter what kind of profession you're in, you can probably use that skill. When I was in college, I studied math for some time and computer science, and even then, I remember my notes were more visual. Even though I struggle at times to imagine things super clearly in my head. Even so, I would try and visualize everything. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to upgrade my service for this streaming thing, which kind of stinks. But anyhow, if you want to hear inside baseball and on streaming services and what that's all like, let me know. I'd be happy to talk about it. Cyberpunk gas lighter. Like a gas stove? Or what? It's actually a pretty good series of ellipses. Alright. Music brought to you by Final Kaiju and myself, Ria Sohi. So a gas lighter, like a handheld lighter. So if you're not familiar with cyberpunk aesthetic, you can look that up. You could also do steampunk if you want, or whatever. I've done some steampunk stuff on the show. That's been fun whenever I have done it. So anyhow, here's the warm-up. Like I said, just want to kind of work from, or like I've said before, opening up your ellipses as you draw, because something like the side of a car is effectively a certain number. Actually, it should be these certain number of ellipses apart, right? And you got front or back, depending on how you look at it, of a car. I'm not going to draw that all the way through, but just to point out once again. All right, so we're going to keep it loose. I'll probably keep the show tight. I'm just all over the place today. So I think I'm going to do two things. We had in the YouTube chat, someone suggested a cyberpunk gas lighter. Maybe I'll do a cyberpunk stove. I could do that. Just markers and stuff, let's see here. So yeah, apologies for the choppy start. So choppy. But I'll hit my stride here in a minute. Okay. So let's do some thumbnails. Alright, so like I said, I'm gonna do a cyberpunk stove of some sort. And if I were doing a cyberpunk stove, what would it look like is the question. How many sections? You kind of got to think about what it does, where it's gonna go. Would it have some sort of a display off to the side, perhaps? Kind of keep it chunky. Just a little underlay here. We'll do some thumbnails and then we'll do a final one. And then I think I might do like a toaster or blender, something like that. But the theme this week, once again for the weekly Skips challenge, is in the kitchen. In the kitchen. So what that means is on Friday, when we do our Fan Friday show. Actually, this Friday, I may have to change it to Thursday. So I did sign up to do some workshops on Friday. So I'll be presenting to a school out east. Anyhow, I'll be showing off your work. So if you want a chance to have your work featured, definitely join the Discord and submit your work in the Show Your Work channel or the Weekly Sketch Challenge channel, or both if you want. But yeah, Okay, this stove has a black top surface, and we're just doing thumbnails here just to warm up, get the juices flowing. Like I said, some sort of cyberpunk stove. Of course, if you don't have people in your sketch or the actual activity, like say a pot on your stove, you can try and add one in. Or if that doesn't work out, you can always label and say, you know, this is your cook surface. Alright, so maybe something like that. Do a couple more. These are actually fun to do because they feel less like cooking appliance and more like just tech, which I kind of like. Hey, redacted computer. How you doing? Just doing some Cyberpunk Appliances. The challenge this week, or theme, is in the kitchen for the weekly sketch challenge. So just thumbnailing out some ideas here. Maybe add some markers to it at some point. And I'm just using a regular, whatchamacall this? This is a Papermate Flair pen on paper. Hello, Mercurial Forte on the Behance. What's up? I guess I should write what I'm doing here. Cyberpunk cooking. That's what we're doing right there. Cyberpunk cooking. Okay. Again, apologies for being so like out of sorts and flustered this morning. Just like everything that could go wrong decided to go wrong at the exact same time in life, which isn't fun. Actually, hold on just a sec. Okay, I'm back. Guess who's back? All right. So I wanted this to go down. So maybe have some sort of hinge here. So this is one of my favorite ways to sketch, just nice and loose with pen. For me, it just kind of helps. Helps me stay loose and quick with my ideas. I'm watching a 3D print that didn't work out earlier. I'll just say. Didn't work out earlier, so just trying to make sure it does what it's supposed to do this morning. Sometimes that can happen. I've been trying to think, like, how would I go about showing some sort of like 3D print show? Could you do that? You can't do it live because The prints themselves take forever. So like I'm printing a little accessory for my markers, and it's gonna take, I think, 4 hours. Something like that.
I don't know her.
Alright, so maybe this flips out or something. That's your oven. Could be cool. Alright, let's see. Chartpak gear. That could be interesting. Be all tiny. Let's see. Just checking on everyone. I've had that experience of everything going wrong at the same time often. Yeah, it doesn't happen often to me, but this morning was like, it was not good. I was stressed to the max. So I was running behind. You know, I work out every day, so I got my workout in, and my kids had, they were like, Dad, can you get so-and-so this or that at the store? So I stopped at the store, and you know how it is when you go to the store, like, you go in thinking you're gonna spend $10 and then you spend 50 or whatever. So go to the store, get everything done. I'm like seconds away from when the live stream's supposed to start, so I push it out a little bit, and then because I haven't even showered, you know, and there was still stuff like in my truck and whatnot. So then I'm scrambling to shower and do everything, and 3D printers are like misbehaving for some reason, and it was just everything all at once. So anyhow, that was my morning. How are you doing? How are you doing? Like I said, I have a busy week ahead. I'm not super looking forward to it, but yeah. Let's see. Anyhow, do you guys sketch with pens? What's your favorite pen right now, if you do sketch with pens? Let's do... Yeah, the stoves are just fun for some reason, because I can do, like, funky stuff. What's up, Tom? I'm doing Cyberpunk Appliances right now. We're trying to. So I'm just making, like, funky shapes for things like a stove. Let's see, this one... Yeah, maybe there's a screen down here. And we can have a nice split. It looks like a copy machine. Someone on Behance was like, is that a copy machine? I totally get it. So no offense taken or anything. Totally get it. It's not the normal look of something like a stove. Designing a table for a yacht. Nice. Did y'all see in the news that Jeff Bezos' yacht is so big they have to dismantle a bridge to like get it from where it's being built? It's pretty insane. If you don't know who that is, that's the founder, co-founder, whatever, of Amazon. Usually in the top whatever richest people in the world. So I was like, holy cow, that's got to be so weird. I'm not rich myself. I've had experiences where I've like brushed shoulders with people that are wealthy, and it's really interesting. I remember the feeling I had. I was hanging out with some really wealthy people. I was like, wow, people actually live like this. You know, the type of situation where you so yeah, maybe there's like a pot over here for context. Where you just have people that have very specific job functions, and there's so many of them doing it to like create efficiency in this person's life that is wealthy. Or even how certain experiences differ for those who have like transportation, for example. You know, a car, private jet, all that stuff. It's really weird. It's really weird when you brush shoulders or you're in that space. You're like, I don't know what to do with myself. The bridge is German engineering, so it should be fine. I had no idea. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, yeah, so the issue earlier today was that I'll keep going here because these are fun. I didn't have enough which is weird. They must have changed it because I swear I did it last year. You know, where you could stream to Twitch as well as other services. But anyhow, my multi-stream service kind of freaked out and wouldn't let me do it. And so I was scrambling to fix that problem because Facebook, like, what they do when you set up an event is they'll just start streaming immediately. Plus it's partly because I had this one setting on, but in any case, that wasn't fun. I was like, no, I'm not ready yet. This could be some kind of stove thing. Yeah, bro. All right. This one feels a little too normal, so we'll mix it up here in a bit. But we're just doing the theme this week is in the kitchen for the weekly sketch challenge. You know, and those are just handy if you're looking for something to sketch. Maybe you're one of those people who it's like, I never know what to draw. You can check out the weekly sketch challenge on the Discord. Of course, I always talk about it on the show, but that'll give you a chance to kind of sketch along, get some feedback if you want from others. Feedback on the show, however, is for Patreon. So if you want to get feedback on your sketches, consider becoming a patron. But of course, watching the show is free. You can hang out, do whatever. So no worries there. Little line weight to clean up. But yeah, I was saying I just love this type of sketching where you can kind of just keep it loose. Right? Nice loose grip on your pen. And just keep the whole thing chill. right. By chill I mean like loose. By the way, sorry, I didn't quite give any sort of explanation as to what I meant, but just kind of loose and free with your sketch. I really like that style. I tend not to get super detailed unless I really have to. It just takes so much time, and I'd rather use the time to generate quantity rather than quality. That sounded weird. That's why I hesitated. I was like, I mean, I still try and do good stuff, but there's a balance. There's a balance between how much you do and how well you do it. And also, maybe I'll give you a visualization of how I think about sketching. Like, I have an idea for the visualization, but I don't know if it'll work. But I'll show you in just a sec. So Sketch Today Live, thanks for joining. We're live on Behance. Yeah, this is weird. I'm gonna have to do a test later to see if this works. Yeah, okay. I don't know what happened, but it looks like so Twitch is working now. Okay, Twitch is working, but Facebook wasn't working. So weird. So strange. Let's see, video producer. Okay, hold up. Ah, there we go. The other thing that's challenging is every like stream service is totally different. So I really should have done a test first, but it seems as though Facebook is the culprit, which goes back to my feelings about Facebook. Did you see they lost like what was it, 250 billion almost in market value this week? Crazy. Just wild. Steampunk pizza oven. That's right. Oh no, this is Cyberpunk. I'm doing Cyberpunk today. We're gonna keep it one theme. Maybe I'll do steampunk on Thursday. I'm gonna have to do it's gonna be Fan Thursday, just because I have a conflict on Friday, or I might do Saturday, but then I'd have back-to-back shows Saturday, Sunday. So I guess Saturday could work because then you don't have to worry about being at work or other stuff to do. Maybe. Alright, let's do one more. I can't imagine losing 250 min. Oh, you mean it was billion, not million. Billion in market cap. $250 billion. Because for the first time in their reporting history, they lost active users. Which is partly why I don't like... I'm streaming on Twitch, by the way, at the same time. No one ever joins, so if you do join and you happen to be in the Discord on Twitch, just hit me up and say, hey, I joined, or something, because I never know. But I'll do it as a courtesy. But yeah, it seems like this is just wild. Maybe it's my streaming service, maybe it's Facebook, but I definitely had some issues there streaming across apps. It's weird. Or platforms, I should say. Is this steampunky enough? Or sorry, cyberpunky enough? Probably not. Let me look up some more concept art here. Yeah, it's really hard to see. I can't like look at one specific image. Although I am going to look at this sketch of a spinner. And maybe I'll use that as some inspiration. This is Sketch a Day Live. Thanks for joining. Being a part of the show. So I do a lot of workshops and appearances, by the way, if you're ever interested, for your usually corporate group or educational group. But in any case, why am I sharing this? I'm trying to remember where my thought was going. Oh, yeah, hit me up if you are interested in any kind of workshop. That's what I'll be doing this week a bit. Yeah, we'll do some fun things to color these up. Maybe I'll show you some different techniques here. All right. Some weird perspective cube on this one. Sometimes it's helpful to draw through your object so you can kind of see what's going on. I 3D printed a little Among Us character. Maybe I'll show you guys in a little bit. It's been pretty fun. Gas stove. Yeah, we're doing a steampunk, or sorry, why do I keep saying steampunk? Cyberpunk. Maybe this has some weird vertical screen on the stove. But Cyberpunk Appliances is what we're doing. Just nice some quick pen sketches here. Just a little background element to tie these together. Sometimes I'll throw something in like that. Umacorn, hello. On the Behance. What's up? It's kind of hard to do some of the cyberpunk stuff just because I feel like I kind of need some neon or something. Alright, so it's 2. Let's do one more page here. Then we'll do some color. Yeah, this is really interesting. I have no idea what happened. Oh well. Oh well. This coffee is good today. Really, really good. I feel like coffee sometimes for me is hit or miss. Sometimes I get it like perfect, and other times it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all. All right, let's see. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, I'll do some microwaves because I know Joel's been asking. Joel says calculator in the microwave. I think if we were doing one, it might, I don't know, have some weird display stuff here. Maybe some buttons. Maybe this is your handle. Some vents. I don't know if it's Cyberpunk necessarily, or maybe it's like some retro future looking stuff. Maybe even reminds me of Fallout a little bit, this whole thing. What's it called? The Pip Boy aesthetic. Something like that. Noyana says, I recently bought these pens and they are fire. I'm glad you're liking them. Again, if you're interested in, oops, I should not be opening windows at the same time, but if you're interested in the stuff I use, you can always use this link and you can find all the stuff I use. So Cyberpunk Kitchen, that's what I'm doing today. Kitchen. All right, there we are. I can spell. I can write good. Cyberpunk Kitchen is what we are doing. All right. Oh, I forgot to post the link here. See, you have to post the link like everywhere. Oops. There we go. So if you're interested in the stuff that I use, you can check out that link. Aight, nice and easy. I was tempted to make the front of this slanted, but then I was like, no. I love those lines, team geometry. I'm bad with organic stuff. I guess that's why I like isometric stuff, says Umacorn. Is that one of those mugs that keep my drink warm? Yes. It's one I found on Amazon. It's iconic. ICONIQ. Works pretty well and holds a a decent amount of coffee. So I really enjoy it. Okay, I'm feeling less frazzled like I was this morning as I got ready for the stream. So thanks again for for your patience as I was just trying to get my bearings and figure everything out. I guess I could do the door opening. So a little trick here in perspective. You might notice that I swung this arc right here. So if I have something, say, like an object like this in perspective, right? And if I were looking at this object from the very top, I may have something like a box, okay? It's from the top view. Right there. So if I want to open one of these sides, okay, I've got this distance here. Well, if I flip this distance like so and draw a circle, okay, at any point here, I would have, ideally, okay, I would have the approximation of this opening, okay? So in perspective, it's similar in that what I try to do is imagine that I'm drawing an ellipse around this center, okay? So now, anywhere I draw in perspective, and you'll see foreshortening happen in real time, okay? So now I can position this face anywhere I want. It's kind of cool. In fact, the ellipse on the bottom is going to be a little bit more open. So now, okay, you can kind of see if I wanted to draw door here, here, and so forth. So that is what's going into this arc swing, okay? Just figuring out roughly where this door would be. The more you know. Do you remember that from NBC back in the day? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What am I doing? I'm just gonna fudge the hinge here and just pretend. Because I made some mistakes and I don't wanna redo this sketch, so I'm just gonna mess around and hint at a hinge. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna give you like a drawing or a diagram that represents my thought process when I'm making a decision about fidelity of a sketch and how to kind of approach this. So Sketch-A-Day Live, thanks for joining. We're doing In the Kitchen is the theme this week. And I wanted to do some cyberpunk kitchen stuff, so that's what we're doing. To kind of get warmed up, get the juices flowing. Hello, Jeffrey. Thales says, I'm a product and graphic design student from Brazil, and your videos help me a lot. Thanks. Well, I'm glad. Glad they've been helpful. Hopefully, as I always say, hopefully you pay it forward at some point. Teach someone else. Also, sometimes when you're sketching, you can just kind of lay out, if you know the general proportion and geometry of what you want to do, just lay out some boxes, because this will be the foundation for different ideas. All right, so sometimes you can do this and then sketch your ideas over. You could do this with a gray marker. You could do this with a pencil. If you're doing it digitally, it could be on a different layer. And then, you know, you add fidelity as you go along. So I'll show you my diagram real quick. All right, so I'm thinking about who the sketch is for, right? It might be for certain people. I'm thinking about, of course, what I'm trying to communicate, right? So who is it for? What am I trying to communicate? And, you know, depending on who, so this could be like an executive at a company, or it could be another designer, or it could be friend, could be a kid, right? There's lots of options here. And as far as what I'm communicating, right, it's really about these people. So am I trying to show, you know, some sort of use case, or is it more of a viz issue, or is it that I want to show some options for, you know, some design, whatever. Okay. So who am I drawing for? What am I trying to communicate? Okay, it could be use case, could be the visual thing, could be options for design. And these two things, this isn't the best diagram, but these two considerations often lead me to then decide how I want to draw. So I can go high quality, which means more time, which may be more appropriate for some of these people. Okay, or I can go fast and quantity, which may be fine for some of these people. So this is the most confusing diagram in the history of the universe. However, that's kind of how I think about drawing when I'm going to draw something. Okay, so who am I communicating and what is this for? Well, these are just personal communication, quick ideation sketches, just to like just to visualize a couple ideas, concepts, things. You know, there's no color, there's maybe just nice loose lines, whatever. It's not a one-to-one representation of reality by any means, but just enough to capture the gist of things. And many times that's actually fine. As a designer, you don't have to do the most absolute detailed, you know, thought out thing always. Sometimes you do, depending on who you're presenting to, but that's part of the job of you being a designer, a creative person. It all boils down to communication, I think. What am I trying to communicate? And am I doing a good job at that? All right, so back to our microwaves here. The theme today in the kitchen. I decided to, since it's Sci Fi Sunday, go with a bit of cyberpunk, or maybe, I don't know, cyberpunk aesthetic to these kitchen appliances. You know what you might expect. Maybe these could even be on some like deep space vessel or something. You certainly have to cook. Maybe you don't have to cook. You don't have to cook in space, do you? I'm probably mistaken on that one. You probably don't have to cook in space. Hello, Sunatbek. Can I draw a laptop? I could, but I'm not going to today. We're doing thematic things that are in the kitchen. All right, so reminder to those who are new here, I'm Spencer. Hi, industrial designer. We have a Discord, that's sketchaday.com/Discord, where if you want to, you can chat with other members in the community, people interested in drawing like you might be. Lots of really great talent there, actually. And part of the reason I started that was because I can't be the single source of everything for everyone when it comes to drawing. So there's lots of talented people, even people that are way better than me, that post there. So it's not a competition, you know. It's not a competition of any sort. But if you're looking to level up and kind of work on your skills, it's a good place to be. I don't know, maybe that's some weird cable stuff happening on the side of our microwave. That seems to be the case with this aesthetic. It's like, why couldn't they do the cable runs inside the object? Maybe because it's a modded microwave or something. Okay, I'm gonna need to use the restroom in a bit. Just a fair warning. Don't worry, I won't take you in there with me. That would not be appropriate at all.
Do you want your money back? Yes or no?
Sometimes what you can do with thumbnails too, I should mention, is you can sketch real small, and then, you know, if you have a digital app or something, take a picture of that thing, and then import it into whatever app you're using. And add some detail, color it up, whatever you need to do in that app. So something else you can do, like even this tiny sketch here, we could take that in, add some fidelity to it. I'm glad you found that hilarious, Umacorn. Must have been a bug with my. Sorry, I'm talking about the issues getting up and running with the live today. It must have been the. Hello, Mystery. We're doing in the kitchen. That is the theme. So I'm doing Cybertruck stuff, but it must have been an issue with my streaming service because everything seems to be working right now. It's really weird. Just one of those days where nothing wanted to work when I needed it to work. Oh, the bathroom break. Gotcha. Yeah, that wouldn't be a good thing at all. So I can do the same thing here, like if the door opens this way in perspective, I can just connect, let's see, connect these. Like so, and now we have this like more dramatic looking kind of opening on the front. So you can play with your perspective, certainly. But yeah, I'll be posting the challenge in the Discord for those who are on the Discord and you want to share your stuff, and then I'll be reviewing those. It'll be Thursday this week because, as I mentioned, I do have a conflict. I have a conflict this week, so sometimes too with sketching, it's just nice to pick that one tool and just run with it, right? And you kind of get this overall feel going. I don't know, I just like that. Okay, bathroom break. I'll be right back. Sorry, just a sec here. Yeah, I'm back. We all need to practice more, Rumacorn. Everybody can practice more. Oh, that's cool, Gareth. Where are you going to school right now? You know, I'm a kid of the 90s, I guess technically. I'll always miss the like 90s product design aesthetic, the chunky, overstated, ridiculous. I'll miss it. And maybe that's inspiring a bit of these thumbnails today. A bit of that look and feel. We're just doing funky sci-fi cyberpunk-ish appliances. Maybe I'll do a mixer next. And I will be doing some marker on these. Right, I don't think I'm gonna do digital today, but I will do digital this week. I promise. So for those of you who are interested in things like Photoshop or Fresco, I'll be back with some of that goodness. But yeah, I just like that overstated, ridiculously chunky 90s look and feel to things. Sometimes I do. These hinges are like massive. Ooh, we should do like or I should do like a portable microwave. I'm gonna do some stuff with handles. I guess that's where a mixer comes in. You know what? I'm messing that up, so I'm just gonna keep it simple. All right. Should be a fun challenge mystery, and I wanted to keep it open so that, you know, since it's in the kitchen, if you want to do people in the kitchen, that's fine. If you want to do something that's, you know, a food item, if you want to paint, whatever you want to do, you could totally do it. The Open University in the UK. I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I don't think anyone's watching on Twitch. I have one viewer, which I think is myself. I think it's myself. But yeah, no one ever watches Twitch, so I'm just like, whatevs. Although I haven't been super consistent, so there's also that. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to play with that later. All right, so we got some stoves here, microwave stuffs. Let's do mixers. Mixer or maybe a toaster. So a mixer, basically you're gonna get, you know, you have your main body, and then you have your mixer piece, and then you also need some kind of handle for your mixer. It's kind of cool, actually. Why would you do that? Why would you have an open handle? Maybe so you can like rest it on the bowl. Would that work? No, the bowl rest you'd want to be like here. If you're gonna have some sort of bowl rest. But yeah, this could be interesting. Maybe this is a cylinder. Just playing around, as I often do. Perspective's always harder too, so be gentle on yourself. Alright, maybe this is like some sort of control interface, like a fatty toggle of some sort. So I do like these pens, but there's also sometimes drawback where you can get a little heavy-handed, but as far as like just going quickly and getting stuff done, I do like them quite a bit. Why did I decide to draw a mixer? Mixers are hard, especially if you're trying to do them right, but we're just moving quick today, so I'll just kind of fake in the beaters here. Just enough that it's like, again, going back to my absolutely bananas drawing. Who am I drawing this for? What am I trying to communicate and how? So if I'm trying to say, hey, here's a mixer, I don't need to worry about all the details. Oh, everything's online. That would be interesting. I think for everyone actually, being in school right now would be like really hard. All right, this isn't feeling cyberpunkish. So let's do another mixer. And I'm just gonna start with my block here. Maybe have a handle. Let's round the corner there. It's like a heavy duty mixer handle. Now it kind of feels retro. I'm trying to get this feeling more cyberpunkish. So bear with me here as I figure this out. Okay, let's think here. Maybe I should have done a blender instead. Speaking of blenders, I've been I did open Blender finally, yay! I just haven't sat down with it for like a decent amount of time, and I need to. Yeah, and this perspective is like, that's wrong. All right, let's try again. Annika says, love a good Venn diagram. I wish it were a good Venn diagram. It is definitely not a good Venn diagram. I kind of hurried through that one. I'm not worried about Blender really. I used to use Maya back in the day, Autodesk Alias, Rhino. I've used all sorts of CAD programs. I'm not super worried. I don't know why people talk about it like, oh, Blender is so insane. But so far it seems mostly chill to me. But I could be totally wrong. Could be totally wrong as well. I totally forgot to record the stream as well. I just need to turn on auto recording is what I need to do. I'm going to do that. Gonna do that. Automatically record when streaming. Okay. So from now on, my streams will automatically record. This is Sketch Day Live. Thanks for hanging. What's up, what DJ? Trying to do some Cyberpunk appliances here. So that's what we're doing. It's not necessarily about the most functional thing, but I'm trying to get these to feel just like they're augmented with something. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Okay. This is feeling better than the other blenders, or sorry, mixers. So a little frame just to start out. Okay, I promise this week I will be adding some new music to the show. I've made a bunch, I just haven't added them. And every time I think I'll have a little time before the stream, I don't. So I will try and do that this week. So yeah, if you're just joining, I was curious, what pen, if you use pens, are you using right now? How do you like them? I'm always interested in new pens, so even though really I shouldn't be. I'm one of those people who has that problem where if I see a pen and I haven't tried it, I just want to try it. And I'll buy it and use it, and then sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't. Is anyone else like that? It's totally how I am, though. I'll just buy pens, do I also work with watercolor gouache? Sometimes I do. If you keep bugging me, I'll do some watercolor stuff one day. Totally bungled these mixer elements, but let's see if we can rescue this. So yeah, sometimes when you're intentionally loose doesn't mean that, you know, I'm throwing perspective out the window or whatever. It's just I'm adding a bit of precise imprecision to my sketch. Maybe that's the best way to describe it. Just enough imprecision that leaves some of the sketch up for interpretation by the viewer, which in this case is you guys. So that's the way I like to think of it. So I was having a conversation with some friends this week, including my sister, about aphantasia, which I think I have to some degree. It's really hard for me to visualize things just in my head alone. And so I actually rely on drawing quite a bit to visualize my ideas. You know, this idea of the personal communication sketch, for example, where you're just sketching for yourself. You maybe have an idea. You're just like, I want to see. Okay, maybe these are just exposed a little bit. You're like, I just want to see, you know, if this thing feels good, whatever it might be. But that's totally how I am. And going back and forth, they're like, what? You can't visualize in your head? I'm like, not really. I'm just one of those people who I just really struggle. I really do. Like, none of this that is on the page I saw in my head before we started drawing. I didn't see any of that. Hey, Bliss. Lamy pens. I use those, but for writing, not for I use those for writing, not drawing. For me, a pen has to be able to hold up to marker if I'm gonna draw with it, because at any point I may want to pull out my markers. And so if I don't, or if it doesn't work well with markers, I don't want to use it. So for the most part, not everything. I mean, I make some exceptions, like Sakura pens sometimes, at least if you're hastily sketching and they don't, this thing looks almost like a jigsaw instead of a mixer, but that's all right. So yeah, sometimes I will just get those pens and try them out. Curious if you do too. I'm having fun with these mixers. I want to do one more, and then I'll throw some marker colors here and there just to pop the page a bit. And then I'll call it good. Return to my day. Probably make some music. Finish my 3D printing. Okay, my printers are doing well. Roshan uses for sketches. Yeah, Roshan, he does. He's really good. Oh, maybe I'll give them a try again, but he also tends to sketch with more of a solid line when he's sketching with the Lamy pens. He's actually the reason I tried out the Lamy pens. So if you're the type of person who likes to sketch with, you know, a very slow, thoughtful line, and I could see that working. I just like how versatile the Papermate Flare is and how cheap it is. All right, so that's the real reason for me why I like using it. It doesn't have the blackest ink of pens out there, I will say. It really doesn't. So if you're interested in, you know, when you scan in your drawing having the blackest black ink, this is not the pen for you. Sakura pens tend to have a little bit better ink color. So like I said, if you go to Sketchaday, you go to sketchaday.com. This is the website. There's stuff you can buy here. Pen and ink guide, marker guide, digital guide. I highly recommend those. Or if you want any of my brush packs, those are available as well. And then, but if you go to resources, pens, okay, I need to capitalize that. But I go through all the pens I use, including a list here of the ones I've tried and how they perform with marker. Okay. Now, this is by no means a comprehensive list, but it is a list that tells you a little bit about what I use and why I like them. So that's the deal with that link. And then I've mentioned this link as well, videos. You know, definitely subscribe to the YouTube, leave a comment, all that good stuff. But you can pretty much, if there's something you want to find, you can pretty much find it here. So if I go to Sony A7 series camera drawing, for example, I'm going to mute this because it's going to be weird. It'll jump to that section in the video and you'll be able to kind of see here, right, me doing this marker drawing. So if you ever want to catch something that I've done back in the day, you can use those links and it'll take you right there. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Like I said, more music soon. I made this one. I'm like shy about it. Some people, like, I'll tell my friends, oh yeah, I make music, and they're like, I want to listen. I'm like, it's more stuff for my YouTube. Or it doesn't matter that much, you know. Not that you don't matter, but it doesn't matter as much, is what I mean. What I mean to say. All right, let's do a couple more. Oh, my leg. I'm getting old, people. I'm getting old. It's not fun. Let me tell you that. All right. Why did I do that? I did this and now I'm going to be thinking of the same design details for both of these. Let's do a different one. I'll just do a block. Just a block. And instead of doing the mixer like element, I'll just do 2 lines and we'll cut those off. Just to keep my life simple here. Gokul says, old like wine. I don't know about that, but I'm getting old, that's for sure. Also, I highly recommend... Okay, this is gonna sound weird and interesting. I just told you that you can sketch real small, but you can also sketch big. All right, so really big on paper, and then shrink it down. And that's going to help you if you sketch big, it's going to help you work on details if you want to at a larger scale, but also hold on, I'm just doing a handle here. Also, you can shrink your sketch after the fact and get a much better fidelity. So if I take this sketch, shrink it down so it's the size of that, it's going to look tight. It's going to look tight. Old like wine. I actually stopped drinking for a bit. I'm trying to get right this year. I'm trying to get right. It's a big birthday year for me. I'll just say that, but I'm getting old for sure. It's so interesting, you know, like being a parent and thinking about my own childhood, my own youth as I parent has been really interesting. I think about the times I was a kid and I would, I would wish that the school year was over, or just summers used to feel so short, And then for a while they didn't, and then all of a sudden they do again. It's the weirdest feeling, I think. The passage of time and life, and I don't want to get too woo-woo and out there with you, but there's something interesting that happens at a certain age where all of a sudden everything just speeds up again. It's the weirdest thing. So I'm in this place right now where time just feels like I'm gonna do a bit of like 80s or 80s chunky aesthetic to this one. Maybe more 80s cyberpunk than modern. But time just feels weird. It's just slipping through my fingers, I mean, January is over. Like, think back to 2020. Everyone talks about 2020, right? So traumatic. There's a really good podcast on trauma, by the way, by the Vox Media Group, if you want to check it out. It was just looking at the definition of trauma in today's context. But anyhow, everything just moved by so quickly, it felt like. And here we are. Everything just feels so weird to me. I don't know if it's 2020 itself or just age and parenting, but I see my kids sometimes doing the same thing I did, Like, oh man, we have like 6 more months of school, or 4, or whatever the case is. I don't know. How many is it now? Let's see, February, March, April, May, June. 5 more months of school. And I'm like, yeah, just you wait. It is going to fly by. Of course, to them, life's a lot simpler, but it's weird being a grown-up and having time fly by so quickly sometimes, Bio versus Geo. I can at some point. I am focusing on these like cyberpunk style appliances today. So I'm doing a mixer here. Maybe it's cyberpunk, maybe it's more vaporwave. Retro 80s, whatever. But good to see you, Luca. It's been a minute. I can show you one thing real quick. I'm totally ADHD, by the way. I can show you one thing real quick. So if you're doing an organic form, like if I wanted to turn this blob into a spaceship, for example, what you want to do is start to have some contour lines over your form, and that's going to start to give it some body. Somebody that I used to know. Right, and then you can start to divide it. So maybe this is my little cockpit area or something. I'm so all over the place. But hey, at least you know what you're getting, right? Kind of, but not really. Anyhow, and then you can start to divide this up. Maybe into some panels. Maybe some panels have artillery or weaponry or something in there. All right, just break out of the organic form. Before you know it, your organic form here will take on additional life. So I can use these contour lines effectively to give my object here some body. some shape. So I don't know if that's what you mean, but it is Sci Fi Sunday, so I had to do something sci-fi related. So here's a little space vessel of some sort. Super fast sketch here. All right, but you can do all that with just a pen. And then we'll return to our mixers. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I just wanted to answer this for Luca. You've been watching for a while, Luca, right? If I remember correctly. A few years. So you can take like a blob shape like that and then turn it into something with the contour line. So even a shape like this, right, on the paper, doesn't really have any definition here. And then if I add contour lines, I now have some idea of this shape. That's a good question, Luca. I know you probably missed this part of the show today, but I was saying that I have, to some degree, I don't think it's like a binary thing, but I have aphantasia, which is the inability to visualize things. I have that to some degree, and so no, I don't see everything as I'm going, or even before. Like, I didn't imagine this before I started, right? So I kind of have to think on the fly, on paper, to come up with the stuff I come up with. All right, it's not like I sit down and everything makes sense in my head, and then I just trace from my mental picture. It's not like that. But everyone's different, of course. I've asked some of my friends, and they've been shocked. They're like, "What? You actually don't see?" I'm like, "No, I have feelings of maybe what looks or feels appropriate, but I don't, like, I didn't visualize any of this stuff." So it's really really interesting. Anyhow, back to our regularly scheduled mixers here. Welcome with the Jamaican accent. Yes, I'm from Jamaica. About 3 years ago, I got my citizenship in the United States of America, but for the longest time, I didn't have it. It was somewhat motivated by the climate at the time, political climate. I decided, you know what, I better figure this out before things get too crazy. Too crazy. So here we are. All right, make we finish now. I saw the Jamaican bobsled team qualified for the Olympics, but I don't really watch the Olympics or anything like that. All of you watching the Olympics? How is it so far? I've heard it's kind of strange because everything is in quarantine, or at least they're very careful with everything in China. This is Sketch a Day Live. Thanks for joining. I'm going to need to sneeze, I think, in a minute. Or maybe it passed. I think it passed. I think the last couple streams I've sneezed. Anyhow, it's Sci Fi Sunday, so that is why we are doing these very strange mixers and appliances. The theme this week for the weekly sketch challenge is in the kitchen. Why did I do that? In the kitchen. Should use a Jamaican accent often. Well, the thing is, if I use an accent, it's kind of distracting to some people. Thank you, Bliss. It's kind of distracting to some people, so what I try to do is just speak in a way that sounds familiar to them, and then it's not distracting. They don't focus on the accent, but they focus on the content a bit more. But I don't know. Maybe it don't really matter. Maybe it don't really matter. Alright, so after this I'm going to use some marker just to shade some things. You know, most of my life I didn't really sketch with pen. I sketched with pencil. But that's because that's all I knew. I really love drawing with pens. Really love it. Unnecessary display. So if you're looking for a little challenge and you want to boost your skill, try drawing with a pen. It's going to force you to do a few things, including thinking before you draw and learning to work with your mistakes. Alright, I think I'm done with the pen now, so let's do some marker. I'm going to use my Chartpaks today, which means my colors are somewhat limited, but we will do what we can do. The Chartpaks are interesting. Add markers if you don't know what those are, because I feel like the colors are all over the place, but they are very juicy. I'm going to also have to open my studio door because they are very toxic. See, this is a gray marker, but it looks like lavender. Isn't that interesting? Lavender. So the door to my studio is open now because I forgot. The other thing, they bleed a ton. Okay, so it's a little different than other markers you may have seen me use. They bleed a lot. But they are fun to use. See, this is Cool Gray 1, but it looks nothing like Cool Gray. Why not do funky colors? When in doubt, do funky colors. Because why not? Why not? What is this? Warm gray 4. Let's see what this looks like. So these colors are all over the place. All over the place. So this is basic gray 1. This is basic gray 5. Those look nothing like each other. Nothing. Steven says, I suppose it depends on which accents you're used to hearing. My team includes 5 people with different accents. They barely register. That's interesting. I mean, diversity is certainly a good thing. But I think part of it too was I didn't like the extra attention at the time. Now I can handle it. I'm actually an introvert. Everyone's always shocked when I say that. Like, what? You're an introvert? I'm like, yeah. I can do the public thing, but I need time to like unwind when I'm done. And if I don't get that, then I get sad. Which, you know, it can be hard for friends if they don't understand that you need your alone time. Stuff like that. Can be hard for them. Any other fellow introverts out there? Say what's up on your own. I love all the introvert memes though. Introverts gather separately. So as you're shading with markers or any color, really, you just have to remember, okay, what's in my environment? What's the lighting situation like? Is there anything that's going to be in shadow? Right? Things like that. That'll help you kind of get the right tone and shade on your drawing as you work on it. The other thing that tends to happen with the chart packs, at least on copy paper like this, is they'll dry back, they'll fade. So something else to be aware of. Okay, I'm gonna pick 2 more things. I'm definitely gonna do this spaceship with marker. All right, you don't want to do everything on the page if it's a product concept page anyways. You don't want to do everything in marker because then it's hard to know what I'm supposed to look at. In this case, you're like, color, boom. These 2 don't even factor in as much because color. Your brain wants the color. It's kind of how it works. Okay, definitely this. I'm just thinking through which ones I want to color up. These are fun too, though. Okay, maybe I'll do one of those. And this will go real fast, by the way, so... No rolling your eyes going, ugh, can't believe he's doing that. Let's see. I feel like I need to do a bigger version of one of these. Like maybe even that one. I'll just color up that one. That's what I'll do. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're good. We are good. Sketch Today Live. Thanks for thanks for joining and hanging out. If you want to support, check out patreon.com/sketchaday. Latrice is also an introvert. Interesting. I didn't even know. Like, I felt like I had to be a certain way, you know, as a person. Like, you have to be outgoing and all these things. So I can do it. Looks like my marker holder is printing just fine. I can do it, but it's exhausting. It's really exhausting to just, like, be high energy all the time. Like, after the stream, I'll probably crash for a bit. It's probably what's going to happen. I'll just want to, like, cozy up and take a nap or something like that. But that's how I am. Bliss says, that's part of the reason why I'm shocked I stream. Like, it took a lot for me to decide to do so. You know, for a long time, I did not want to show my face on the internet. For a long time. Real talk time, people. Real talk. So I've always struggled with my weight. Always. It's just been a thing. And I'm fine now, don't worry. But I think part of why I didn't want to was I didn't want to like own up to my own meanness and like actually love myself and all those things. So I've had to learn over the years, and when I finally accepted myself, it was a lot easier. I had a friend, actually he runs an Instagram account, or not Instagram, YouTube account called Art for Kids Hub. We went to the same school. Friend of mine, Rob Jensen, his family. You probably heard of Art for Kids if you have kids who like to draw. They've probably followed his tutorials, for example. But he was like, because he was doing really well on YouTube, and I was like, I need to figure out how you're making this work because I want to do well on YouTube. So he was like, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to get 2 cameras, because I think I was using like, maybe I was using my iPhone at the time. Oh, no. I had a cheap, it wasn't even a good camera. It was like a Panasonic GH something. Or no, it wasn't a GH. It was a GV something. Was it Panasonic? Yeah, it was Panasonic. And I replaced those with some Canon cameras. And I got like an overhead camera and one pointed to, what is this, Cool Gray 7. So I got an overhead and I got a front facing camera, and ever since then I've shown my face on camera. But up until then it was just my hands, which was kind of fun because people would be like, so that's what you look like. But yeah, after this I'll probably take a nap or something. Have some lunch, take a nap. I think it's lunchtime here. What kind of music do I listen to? I listen to a lot of lo-fi music, a lot of hip-hop, a lot of R&B. I'm obsessed with a few artists. I don't want to tell you who yet. Can't know everything about me. I only listen to Neil Young on Apple Music now. Just kidding. If you've been following that drama. Really interesting developments, though. That's all I'll say. So yeah, inside of the stove, I want to make this dark, but also gotta have some reflection stuff happening on the front. All right, so those little white spots kind of help communicate a little bit of reflection. All right, real quick sketch. Maybe some texture in there. But this is, like I said, this is the style I like. Just real quick, loose. You know, just enough. Not too tight, not overdone. Just enough. That's my jam right there. It's hard to get the contrast with these 2 markers. It really is. See, now I'm going to want to buy more Chartpak markers, and I really shouldn't because I never use them. I've been listening to Amapiano. I think that's how you say it. It's like a South African style music. I listen to dancehall quite a bit. What I listen to at the gym is also different than what I listen to just at home. I like... Hey, introvert doodles. I like jazz as well. It just depends on my mood. For a while I was just listening to Kamasi Washington over and over. And then I've recently been really, like, I never got into Wu-Tang Clan back in the day, but I started listening. I was like, okay, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to mess with. They're right. Okay, so there's my weird cyberpunk futuristic stove thing. We've got our mixer there. I actually like the feeling of these. They're very loose. Get me excited. Okay, let's do the spaceship. I want to do the spaceship and then one more mixer. Or maybe I'll just end at the spaceship. What time is it? Yeah, oh, wow. I didn't realize so much time had passed by. Oh my gosh. Bliss, I'll have to check out your stream. Shoot me a link on the Behance Discord. I'd love to. You can add me as a friend, then I'd love to check it out. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Alright, we're back. We are back to the show. Okay, let's see here. Dare I make this spaceship green? Why not? Why not? There's probably a reason why not, but we're gonna go for it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the art store. I'm gonna get some Chartpaks. Y'all have inspired me. Let's do a quick color test. Or QCT, as we call it. Just kidding. I don't have an acronym for quick color test. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good. Do I lift weights for arm exercising? Yes, I do. I do. Maybe I'll do patches of green, but also gray or something. Maybe. I don't know yet. So yeah, I don't really see those things in my head like I was saying. It's just more like, I think green would look good. I don't know until I try it and I'm like, okay, green looks good. Which I know is weird for some people. All y'all who can like see in your heads, good for you. I would be unstoppable if I could like clearly visualize everything as a creative person. Woo! That'd be incredible. Are designers happy? I can't speak for all designers, but I'm pretty freaking happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life right now. Partly because I don't work for a specific company. I set my own schedule. I mean, sometimes it's a bit much. You know, I get my lows, but overall, I would say, yeah, pretty freaking happy. Thank you, Zareen. Just kicking it with the traditional stuff today. I guess the last few Behance streams, really, but who's counting? Maybe Bliss is counting. Or maybe Umacorn is counting. The stream has gone way longer than I anticipated. But you know what they say? Life is like a box of Ohuhu markers. You never know what you're gonna get. No, what they say, time flies when you're having fun. That's what I meant to say. Time flies when you're... Time's fun when you're having flies. Something like that. So I was watching the Attack on Titan, what I thought, anyways, was the finale this week, and I was like, no, you can't just end the show like that. And then I realized, oh, there has to be more episodes, right? Is anyone else watching it? Yeah, if you have any good TV show recommendations, I'll always take them, so let me know. Some weird green spaceship. See, look at this marker color. It doesn't look anything like the label. It's just wild. Okay, maybe a little bit like the label, but certainly not as much as I would expect. Certainly. This is about A4, yeah. But it's just a regular letter-sized piece of paper. Alright, last thing. Let's do our other mixer here, and we're going to call it good. Hey, good to hear that, Zareen. Time's fun when you're having flies. Here's my little Among Us bones I 3D printed. There's one. I've got the characters just chilling right now on their little print bed. Little bones, pretty cool. Like I said, it would be pretty much impossible for me to live stream 3D printing. I could do the 3D modeling though as a live stream if you're interested in that kind of thing. So you can always message me, let me know, hit me up in chat, whatever. But maybe one day I'll do that. Okay, this looks like a power tool because it's yellow. Power mixer. We'll fix it though. We'll do some stuff. Oh, you've been streaming 3D modeling. That's cool. Are you getting a lot of interest in that, Gareth? I feel like using markers is a bit like riding a bike, where eventually you don't really feel the bike anymore. You just kind of know how to orient the tip of the marker. Just like balancing a bike just is. You just do it. You don't really have to think about it. You just do it, you know? Speaking of bikes, that should be one of my goals this year. Get back into road cycling. I used to do that quite a bit. This probably won't work, but I'll try it anyways. You'll see. Famous last words, right? This probably won't work, but let's try it anyways. Yeah, I need like a darker gray. And I don't have one. Well, I do have one, but it might be too dark. But let's do it anyways. Chartpak markers, I don't use them very much. Ad markers, some people call them. AD by Chartpak. They do have a very distinct, strong odor to them. You want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area to use them as well. But in this case, I don't usually use them, but in this case, they kind of worked out well. This is one of those sketches where I think it could benefit from just a little bit more pen work, but as I sketch, I'm not going to work on this much more, but you know, little texture here and there, maybe some part lines, additional patches, rivets, things like that, you know, would kind of help. Or maybe it's secondary borders, whatever. Any discount codes? The recurring discount code that's available is if you sign up for the newsletter, there's a discount code in there for 10% off. Occasionally, I'll send out a code in a newsletter as well. I just sent one out for 20%. So hang tight. If you sign up, I'll be sending out another code eventually. So, and just a reminder, I do have my digital guide available in print form as well. That's on Amazon.com. And if you've never seen it, here it is. As my headphones are unplugged. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I just put this together as people had a lot of questions about, you know, digital sketching and all that stuff. So it has a few tutorials, 167 pages long. Does not have an index. I realize I didn't put together an index, but kind of goes through all the stuff you need to know about, you know, which tablet you should buy, deciding on your budget and kind of what to expect. And one of my favorite sayings, buy it nice or buy it twice. Information about batteries and power, how to make that transition from paper, about different apps as well. This is also available digitally, so if you become a patron, you do have access to the guide if you don't want a printed copy. But if you do want a printed copy, you can check out a link here I'll post. Anyhow, just goes through stuff, Adobe Fresco as well. Let's see. Here's a Photoshop demo with notes. All right, so eventually, you know, being able to do a rendering like that. And it's books are challenging in a sense that I can't really give a se encuentra en español, sí, puedo hablar español si quieres. Books are hard because so much changes as you know with digital products and what's available. So I tried to take a conceptual look at how I put the book together. Is kind of the idea. So here is a link. I actually just dropped the price a little bit. Actually, a lot bit. So here's a link to that book. You can check it out. So far, it seems like people like it. So, El libro hermano, mucho gusto. Así son algunos de mis bocetos de algo en la cocina en el futuro. Cocina futura. Future kitchen. Okay, so we're doing cyberpunk cooking today. Threw in a spaceship there. All these sketches I'll make available as well on the Google Drive or Patreon. So lots of benefits there if you want to sign up. Appreciate those who have consistently signed up and showed up. All right. So lots of sketches. Catch the replay if you want to see all of this. That's it for me today. But hopefully it's just the beginning for you and your drawing, whatever it is you're creating. I hope you do well at it. I don't know what to say. I hope it's fun. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday. Thanks for watching. Let's see. On Behance, on Twitch. We had an extra viewer on Twitch. Cool. No one ever watches, but it's there. And on YouTube. Thank you so much. All right. As I always say, passion is the process. Take some time to teach someone. If you learn something today, it's actually going to help you because you break down your style, what you do, into el libro no está en español, o no existe en español, solamente inglés. So do what you can to break things down and explain to someone, because it's going to help you think about what you do, how you do it, why you do it, and so forth. Maybe you'll even come up with your own diagram, and that's going to help you be better in the long run, better communicator, better artist, and a better human in general. All right. Thanks again to the Patrons and channel members for your support, and thanks for taking the time out of your Sunday to hang with me and to watch. I'll be back on Thursday this week. Remember, the challenge for this week is in the kitchen. Could be anything. Could be people in the kitchen, could be plants in the kitchen, could be appliances, could be food. There's lots of stuff you can do. Interior design. I mean, heck, if you wanted to do a kitchen on wheels, you could do that as well. So anyhow, sky's the limit. Check out the link, sketchaday.com/discord, to join in the challenge. All right, take care, much love, and I'll see you next time right here on Sketch a Day.